Well, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, I blew up the bike. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh no. No, 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 no. What the hell was that? I blew it up. I did indeed blow it up. I was a little shocked, to be honest, because I didn't notice that the engine sounded any different. You'll see some clips I'll play later in the video that it did indeed sound bad when I watched it back, but I couldn't tell while I was riding it. I think that's just me not being used to a two-stroke. I'd only been riding it for a couple of months. So if you want to see me rebuild it, stick around. It's only part one of, I don't know how many parts this is going to turn into. And, you know, it was a bit of a fun experience considering I'd never rebuilt a bike. So I ended up, you know, being thrown in the deep end a bit. But it's all just a large version of Lego, right? I mean, it all goes back together as long as you don't lose things or break things, supposedly. Yeah, so if you want to hear it come back to life, and we're going to rebuild it and we'll get it back to singing, stick around for the rebuild series. I don't know how many episodes it's going to end up being. So yeah, stick around, subscribe, and without further ado, we'll get into the teardown. Let's go. Well, I think I've blown the motor up, because she won't kick over, not even slightly. No hope from that, so now we get to rebuild the 125. Not what I was anticipating on doing. I did look back at the footage earlier today and I watched how the motor sounded. I didn't actually notice it when I was riding it, but looking back at the footage, it definitely didn't sound right for a wee while. 15-20 minutes maybe a little longer. So I know that we got too hot, didn't get enough oil. Did sound like it was possibly running slightly lean. I don't really know much about two-strokes, but we will find out. We'll drain the fluid. I'll pop the little bung out to drain the radiator. Take the radiator cap off. That was all melted, so it must have been sitting next to the exhaust. Yeah, got it. Okay, we have the ignition. Just realised actually the swing arm looks like it mounts to the engine through there. So I'm going to actually have to pull pivot bolt for that, and then the engine mounts there and over this side as well. Got one there, that mounts under there as well. There. Oh, and one there as well. I don't know, we'll find out. I'll just start undoing things and see what moves. That's all we can do. There we go.
Ah, okay, I think I'm gonna have to pull the brake. Seriously doesn't seem to brake. Okay. Let's put a hold of everything. I can't pull that out until I pull this out. I can't pull it out because that's the thing that's seized, right? Well, not seized, but it doesn't want to move. I'm a bit nervous. I'm going to break it if I keep yanking on it. Let's try it again one more time, shall we? It shouldn't be that difficult. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, CRC did its job. There we go. Definitely probably needs a bit more grease on it. I can see that this has dropped back. You can sort of see it.
Okay, so we're getting our first look at the piston. Now, bearing in mind I've never actually seen the side of two-stroke, so I was quite intrigued by the fact that head gaskets are just O-rings. But there I am looking at the top. I was trying to work out whether the piston was, you know, welded to the cylinder walls, but there was metal flakes. You can see there's quite a bit of metal flakes all around there, so I didn't quite know what was going on. But yeah, we'll pull the cylinder off and then we'll have a better idea. So here we are pulling the cylinder. Oh, actually, that's the linkage for the power valve. Another magical thing I don't understand. Yeah, here we go. I'm cracking off the nuts that hold the cylinder on. There's that last one hiding in the power valve housing. Now, before you all yell at me, oh no, he's using a giant sledgehammer, I was tapping it very, very, very lightly. But I know it's not ideal for the aluminium casting. It was the closest hammer nearby and I just grabbed it. Because I thought it might be quite stiff, but as you can see, it seemed to work its way out fairly easily. And there we go. And now I'm trying to work out what's actually caused it to lock up. Hey, it's not the piston, it's the bottom end.
Okay, we've got it apart now. Now you can see there's little chunks of metal and some rather nice little indentations. I can feel those with my finger. And it's very clean, so that's why I've never felt a plug, but perhaps running 40 to 1 wasn't the most intelligent idea. And that looks like pre-ignition. I don't really know if it is or not though. Someone will be able to tell me in the comments, I'm sure. But that is fairly discoloured, so that bottom end got very hot. Because there's our problem. It ain't spinning at all. And as for the cylinder, it doesn't look too bad, I don't think. I think there's a couple of bits of grit in there. I think that's from the piston though. So this is turning into a bigger job than I anticipated it being. Because that bottom end is locked up. Yes, the other thing I noticed too is this power valve linkage. Must definitely get a bit of that salt that I didn't know it was so unsealed. So I have to clean all this up and make sure I keep that nicely lubricated so it doesn't rust. And that stud's quite rusty as well. I have to get a case splitter and then I'll be able to split the case, so we'll have to get that ordered in there. We won't be doing anything for a few days till it gets here. And we can see here we've had that vent line was actually hidden in the exhaust pipe, so that's good. Good, I found that. I'll have to rerun that somewhere. Maybe that should have been somewhere else slightly, I don't know. I'll have to give this a bit of a clean. And now at least I can re-grease all these joints and stuff. Because they all look like they need a bit of a grease. And a bit of a clean. But yeah, that's turned into a slightly larger job than I expected. I thought it was going to be the piston. But oh well. It will mean, hopefully if we do this now, we'll have a effectively brand new motor to run when we, as we hit summer. Should have drained this when I saw the motor in the frame. That definitely didn't look too good. Ugh. It looks disgusting. It's like milk. Okay, I'll stack these in reverse.
Now, because I'd never actually worked on a motorbike, I didn't have any of the tools necessary to, split cases, pull flywheels. That's the flywheel puller we're looking at right there. Yeah, so this is just me opening up most of the packages of just tools. This is the clutch holding tool and flywheel holding tool all in one. And yeah, here you go. You can see me working out how it works and being impressed. It's just like a giant pair of vice grips. So yeah. More packages. I was confused and thought this one might contain the crankshaft, but spoiler alert, the crankshaft's a bit bigger than that box. I guess I probably should have said, but yeah, we're going to have to do a full engine rebuild. New crank, new piston, new everything.
Carb rebuild kit, new hour meter, the other one gave up the ghost. Engine fastener kit. Now I got the idea of that from some guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name. If I remember, I'll put it in the cards or the description or something. But YouTube has been very helpful.
That gear jamming tool also came from YouTube. It's for jamming between the clutch and the main drive gear off the crankshaft. More bolts for the plastics, just in case we lose some.
And that is all the boxes we have so far. So we are still waiting for a piston in the crankshaft. Unless, no, hold on. There's one more box I forgot about. This is a crankshaft installed tool. See, that's what I thought the other one was. I've got two. That's great. Oh no, but these have all sorts of different inserts. And other inserts. And instructions, which I will refrain from reading until I need to. Well, it seems pretty self-explanatory. The inner end of that must thread onto the crankshaft, and then that pushes against the case and it pulls it into place. And you crank on that nut, I think. So we'll put that in there, and put that down there.
Now when I pulled this kickstart off, it looks like, I discovered, look at the back of that, it looks like silicon. Yeah, it definitely was silicon, it felt like silicon. So if anyone knows why you would put silicon on the back end of the shaft for your kickstart, let me know, because I couldn't work out why someone did that. Here we go, I'm about to try out my new flywheel holder. There's those pins. They go into those little holes on the flywheel, so you can hold it still. And again, here I am still using the ratchet. You'll see as the video progresses, I start learning that the impact is a lot faster. There's a lot of fasteners and bolts to undo, so the impact became my friend.
Look at that. Okay. Now we'll tip this back over. There it is. Now that goes with that nut. And now this thing should thread in there. And then now that was very, very easy. Where's the flywheel? Good, flywheel can go over there.
Well, I was suitably impressed with how fast that flywheel came off. I was quite impressed. It just came off, I didn't even notice it. So, you know, it's great having the right tool for the job. And there's me pulling the stator off. And now I'm about to discover what the clutch cable pulls on. And well, I'm about to work out how it moves the clutch.
Ah, so that must be what that push rod's for. That push rod controls the clutch, I think. I don't know if you know, but that looks like it pushes in there, and that would be directly in line. Yeah, that must be what it's for. It is very interesting.
Okay, I think I actually didn't include the footage of the push rod being removed, but it sits in the center of the clutch, and that little mechanism will push on the other end of it, and then that pushes the clutch.
It's the rear carrier. Oop. And that is the internal piece. I have to look at how to tell if they're warm, but looking up to the light, I can see holes through there. Yeah, and there. Oh, yeah, there. No, I don't really know, but I would imagine that's not ideal. There's a bit of burring going on. I might do some cleaning up of these casings while I have it apart. Here we go. Let's have a look. How does this open? Like that. That opens like that. Oh no, they must have put it in here. Oh no, I dropped something. What the hell was that? Oh no, it's my socket that's not. Gaskets, top end, I think. Oh no, everything's here, I think. Okay, gaskets. Main bearing and seals. Let's have a look at this piston. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's got the drilled holes for the exhaust port. It's a very nice looking piston. Alright. And some nice little stickers. These are every other oil seal known to mankind. This is the water pump kit. The new bearing. Oh, they pack it with grease. Oh, that's interesting. I'll check the manual on that. Engine oil seals. This has got to be the crankshaft. Let's have a look at this. Comes in the box. It's coming apart. Now, whatever we do, you don't want to drop this because it comes in it. Ooh. Like a nest for a bird. And again, more stickers. than you can skin a cat with. There we go. That's the crankshaft. Oh look, and the big end moves, unlike mine. Alright, take this out and have a look. Whatever you do, don't drop this. This is a $700 part. Or whatever it was, something like that. Oh, look at that. It pivots. Look at that. I don't know how much you can see that, but that's the bearing. Right in there. Look at the back. Little cocoon like that, and put this somewhere. Hot rod stickers, hot cam stickers. Ha, that's funny. Put that on a 2-stroke. Okay, maybe I'll turn that into the box for all these. Well, we have everything. I just worked out that I think we need new reeds though, because apparently you're not supposed to see light through them. When I hold these up to the light, actually where's my torch? You can probably see it. If I do this, look at that. That's probably not what they're supposed to look like. So we might need new ones of those. I've been measuring these vent lines off the carburetor. I think I'm going to have to order new hoses for those. I'm trying to and get some blue ones if I can. I think we're in business. I'm just gonna see, I've been organising all my parts. I was going to get a new clutch, but then I checked the plates and the whatever you call the abrasive things, forgetting the word, and they all seem just within spec, and it's very, very easy to do the clutch. So I might as well just keep running it till it's not. So now we just have to split the cases on these. Not these, I mean this. Hey look, it's pulled it off for me. Haha. Well, this was unexpected, but here comes the shifter. Just like that. Alright, that was easy. That out of the way. Spring wheeled thing off there. Oop, I bumped the camera. Okay, one piece is off. That piece is off. And that had a spring in it. Great. Pulled apart. All that needed to. I have lost. See that there has a spring in this little thing at the end of it. Bit hard to see, but I dropped it. It's hiding below, behind that wheel. There we go. We have whatever that is out. And now, see in there, there it is. Little rogue piece. Put that down there with its spring. There's another sneaky piece hiding in there. There must have been two of those little chunks of metal that must have gone on those springs or something. I'll check the manual and find out exactly what they do, but I think that's somehow how it shifts. It might be what gives it the clicks. Pull the kickstart, spring comes out, like that, and the whole assembly just pops off. There's the kickstart.
Now what you can see me doing here is I'm removing all the little bolts that hold the crankcase two halves together. yeah, so I'm just going around undoing all those step by step. Trying to make sure I keep them all organized. I wasn't the most successful, and I just ended up, when I put it back together, I just used the new ones because they were all labeled. But yeah, got to go through and make sure you get all the bolts. Don't want to be splitting the case with one bolt still stuck in there. And here we go, trying out the case splitter. I'm just working out where to actually thread in the bolts for it. Now, I thought it was sticking on one of those little guide pin things that align the cases, but it wasn't, as you'll see when it comes out there. I thought they must have been a bit corroded or a bit rusty or something, but no, they weren't. I think it was just stuck. That crankshaft had got so hot, it must have expanded and just caused enough resistance in the bearing or whatnot that it didn't want to let go. And here we go, it's finally starting to come apart. The moment of truth. Let's find out exactly what went wrong.
There we go, we got one side off. Look at that. Let's put some of the copper off the... I don't know whether that's from the bottom end getting too hot. I suspect it probably is. So I don't think it's supposed to look like that. No, no, dropped it. Great, now it's got dirt on it. I think it survived. Okay, now that goes with the other one. There's no washers on any of these, no. They look in pretty good condition, the shifted forks. Well, I don't really know what to look for, but they don't look chipped or dented or scratched or anything like that. Alright, the transmission is out. That retains that bearing. I don't think I need to change any of these bearings. Okay, now I need to flip it this way. Ooh, I see metal flakes. That there is scored all along there. It's probably what's left of the bearing, I'm going to imagine. It's quite rough. I'll clean that up. That must be cooked 2-stroke oil, I'm going to imagine. See, all that has come off there. Now, we get to have a look at this crankshaft and see precisely. Look, there's a bit of material there. Stuck on there too. Chunk of something. Oh yeah, look at that, it's all melted. Look at that. You can see the colouring on it. And it just absolutely won't move. Well, that can go on the wall now or something. Well, there we go. Somebody's done some casework, I think, because they've taken that off. That's been filed. I don't know how well the camera can see that, but that's been filed in there. I think I'll come along and take off that edge there because it's really rough casting. Go through and smooth that out. As for the other side, yeah, the same story goes. Somebody's taken a file. See it there. I'm sure that bearing's not supposed to be that stiff. can't turn it unless I push my thumb on it. And those are red Loctites in there. I'll have to remember that. And now that bearing should be able to come out. Right, we'll take this over to the press. There we are.
Now at this point I was starting to realise that gearbox bearings also might need to be replaced because a couple of them were very, very gritty. So it's a good time to do it while it's all apart anyway.
Listen to that. Now, I want to get this gritty one out. Whoa, don't drop the case. There we have it. It sounds a little noisy. I want to go clean this transmission one and just see if it sounds any better. Oh, it's a bit gritty. It feels like it's... I don't think that's very good. I'm just concerned about those transmission bearings. It's a bit gritty. And I didn't actually change the... I should have really changed the transmission fluid a little earlier. I put about 15 hours on it, and I haven't changed it. And that's what it looked like. So... I'm figuring, I thought it was water at first, but I think it's actually just lots of clutch plate. Hence why I think some of those transmission bearings are grinding, but I'm not entirely certain, but that's my most likely theory. So, I'll go clean this case, but I'll be there in a minute. Let's pop these other bearings out and have a look. Ooh, look at that. That hole there comes out and feeds that bearing. Of course, because it's a two-stroke, it needs to get oil. Duh! Alright, let's pull these seals. I think that's the water pump. I'm not positive.
That's going to be a running theme for this video and this entire series actually. I keep misidentifying that bearing. It took me a while to work out what it actually was for.
That must be the shifting shaft, I think. Back to the press we go. There we go. Right, we're going to clean this out.
Now you'll notice there's still one bearing in this case, and so I'm cleaning it thoroughly. I'm about to take it into the oven. And since aluminium is softer than steel, the aluminium expands, and the bearing should just fall straight out if you put it in upside down. So we're about to test that theory. There we go, finally clean. Took a while. And then there we go, we can see it sitting in the oven. I didn't really video any of it, but well, I thought it was too boring to film. But there's a picture of it sitting in the oven. It kind of stunk out the kitchen a bit, but just had to open up a few windows.
Well, I didn't get it on film, so I forgot to hit record. But put it in there, put it up to 200 degrees Celsius in the oven. Give it a good whack, and as you can see, I got the bearing out. There we go. So I'm very happy. And this is the other side of the case.
And it's much the same story for this one. Pull out the bearing retainer things. One of the bearings go out on its own, and the ones that couldn't be pressed out go to the oven. As it turns out, the only bearing that was left in here was the one that I keep mistakenly thinking is to do with the water pump. It's not to do with the water pump, it's the one half of the two bearings that hold the governor that runs the power valve. But I didn't know that at the time.
Ooh! That one fell out of the side. Alright, now we'll come down to the press, pop these two out, and then we will put back this one in the oven as well, because I need to pull that bearing out. I'm pretty sure that's to do with the water pump.
And for this half of the case, it's the same as the other half. clean it thoroughly before I put it in the oven so it doesn't stink the house right out, make it smell like, you know, burnt oil. So yeah, I'm not going to play this entire thing. We don't need to see all this. It's just cleaning. It's rather boring. So yeah, and then we'll put this one in the oven as well.
The good news is the bearing is out. Bearing fell out on its own in the oven. I want to go grab that now. There we go. It fell out in the oven. So now all the bearings are out of that. Cover. Gasket off that.
Okay, now this is me just disassembling the side cover. That's the governor, and that's the other bearing that I kept thinking what to do with the water pump. That's what controls the power valve. This is the water pump, that gear there. Yeah, there I go, trying to work out how to pull it off. Eventually I got it. It had like a little clip that required, you know, 15 screwdrivers to unclip. There we go, got it off. Pull the shaft out. And yep, clean it up, make sure it looks good. And that's the linkage for the power valves. And here I am about to work out, I put the side cover on the case and I worked out that no, that bearing I pulled off was the other side of the governor bearing, which controls the power valve. So I've finally worked that out. It's taken me all this time. And here I go, I'm about to pull off the little shaft that runs through and connects to the linkage that runs the power valve. That's got a little tiny oil seal there as well. I had to make sure I got. And yeah, so that's about it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, stick around for part 2, and however many parts there are after that, until I get it back running.
It's looking less and less like a motorbike and more like a bunch of parts. Since we're this far, I think I'll go pull everything else off this frame, clean it up. There's literally no back wheel. We're so close. It wouldn't make any sense to not do the full thing while I'm here. You wouldn't know there was actually a bike in here. There's a wheel there, there's a frame there, there's another wheel there. Handlebars are on the bench. Motor's on the shelf. Swing arms by the press. You wouldn't know there was a motorbike in here. It's just all a bunch of parts.